listening to Between Two Bridges, a business-to-business podcast. With your hosts, Anthony R. Destiny, Joe Ferrani, and Jerry Kenna. Interviewing entrepreneurs, business operators, and investors. This episode of Between Two Bridges is sponsored by Paymont Payroll. Payday is the most important day to your most important people, and payday is made easy at www.payyourpeople.com.
Alrighty, another episode of Between Two Bridges. Here with my co-hosts, Jerry and Joe. Discussing,
what's up, man?
World news.
Happy days.
Things in our
happy days.
As 3 40-year-olds navigating midlife crises on air for everyone to...
We're not quite... I guess we are about midlife, huh?
Well, my dad died at 44, so I bought a motorcycle at 22.
Yeah, my mom was 44.
Yeah,
that's odd.
Yeah, I was like, I'm going through a midlife here. But my grandfather also died at 57, so...
Joe, you might be soon, bud.
I'm good, bud.
Okay.
I'm going to live to 80, and then I'm...
Do you go to the doctor?
Yeah, quite often, actually.
Do you?
Yeah.
go.
Heart history was like a thing, so...
You have heart problems, Joe?
I don't.
Okay.
I'm good. I'm healthy, but
all right.
That's what started the whole CPAP thing was, just keeping on top of it.
But you're on a CPAP.
Yeah, I am on a CPAP, yeah. Like I said last time, I haven't been using it as much just because I've been so tired. But when I don't sleep with it, it's not the same. Like it's like days of tiredness.
Mm-hmm.
Can't shake it.
Oh.
Nope. No, mine was broken for a couple of days. I had to try to figure it out.
Jerry, you got one too.
Uh-huh.
All right.
I actually, it kept turning
it's coming,
off.
Bud.
It's
coming.
It kept turning off. Like I'd put it on, I'd be okay for like 6-8 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
And then it would turn off, which is basically then you suffocate because this thing's like stuck in your nose and you're breathing, and then all of a sudden you can't breathe.
The first night I had mine, I was like, "Good night, Goose. Maverick loves you."
Does it make a lot of noise?
Not really. The new ones aren't like the old ones.
Nah.
All right.
I mean,
I ended up sleeping on the couch for a couple nights till I got mine fixed because I didn't want to subject the rest of my family to my snoring.
I didn't even think I snored until I met Sarah. I'm like, dude, I never woke myself up once.
My wife snores.
Yeah.
I sleep downstairs because of it.
She needs a CPAP, bud.
Maybe.
Get her a sleep study.
She vapes, so I'm sure they're connected. I don't know.
Yeah, might be. Get her a sleep study, bud.
I'm curious to see the long-term effects of vaping.
Yeah.
For sure.
I mean, everybody thought cigarettes were cool.
Vaping's so much healthier.
9 out of 10 doctors said unfiltered Camel cigarettes are the healthiest ones back in the day.
Yeah, that's the ones. Those are the ones.
Those are the ones, dude.
American Spirits.
Joe Camel.
Yeah.
So, what's going on?
Joe, did you ever see Wolf of Wall Street?
I have seen Wolf of Wall Street.
What do you think about penny stocks?
If I could do it like him, I'd do it.
Well, he went to prison. Would you live his life to go to prison for a few years?
He's currently out of prison.
He is out.
And I'm sure that he didn't give him all his money.
He did not pay a single cent to anybody he ripped off.
Right.
Ever.
Good for him.
So, would you trade a few years of prison to...
5 years ago, I would have said, yeah. I'm in a good spot right now. Yeah, kids
change your answer?
Yeah, kids are at a good age.
Jerry, you going to prison to live like a king?
No.
Okay.
No, there's ways to make money on this side.
All right. One of those ways, if you follow the markets, especially during COVID, was there was something that came up called meme stocks.
Yep.
There's also little fairy coins, Doge coins, some other stuff came out, Safe Moon, all these crazy coins came out. But two stocks in particular have gained a cult following There's a Twitter handle, Roaring Kitty,
Yeah.
has come out and changed the game. So there's two stocks, AMC and GameStop, which if you just look at those businesses, Jerry, and we'll take your 2 cents on this, but I would say dying businesses.
Struggling for sure.
I don't know a lot of people going to the movie theaters.
No, it's tough, and that industry's changed a ton.
Yeah.
A ton. I mean, with streaming and things like that. So AMC's hurting pretty bad. I read a little bit today. I guess last quarter, GameStop reported a small profit for the first time in a while. But the video game industry's changed a lot too. I mean, that's
you
all
don't have to go to the
downloads. You don't
store
need a
anymore.
disc.
So you used to have to sleep overnight to wait for
wait in
new
line.
releases and Mortal Kombat and all that stuff. But
They just download it.
these two stocks in particular, just a couple days ago, I believe returned 70-some% in a single day.
Yeah.
So that's almost politician money, Jay.
Yeah, almost. And then they opened another 100% up today.
Yeah, they're touching the politician.
Yeah.
They're getting in that range.
Getting in that range.
But they closed, I think they still closed up, but I didn't check at the end of the day.
Yeah.
I stopped looking halfway through the day because I thought this morning, I'm jumping on this time. I want to see where this goes. And I lost some money today. So halfway through the day, I thought, I need to stop watching this because I'm going to make a bad decision.
The thing with these is timing. So
Right.
day trading, we were talking Jordan Belfort. Hopefully he doesn't sue me or whatever. Fuck him.
Lawsuits are good. No publicity is bad publicity.
But
That's right.
day trading is a very risky venture. But there's a term called holding the bag. So if you don't get in soon enough, that's holding the bag.
Yeah.
I noticed like today on Twitter and Facebook, and everybody's like, see, I told you it was coming back. And it's like, come on.
didn't know.
You didn't know. It's just like, it's like February 22nd telling me who won the Super Bowl. It doesn't matter.
Doesn't do you much good.
So do we want to kind of rewind a little bit and tell what exactly happened with these stocks? Because I think most people really have heard about it but don't know what happened. So back in 2021 is when this all started. These two stocks in particular, it started out with GameStop really was the big one that happened, and then there were other ones that followed that were similar, kind of old business models, struggling companies. GameStop, AMC, we mentioned. BlackBerry was one that was talked about back in 2021. But what happened was the reason they got attention from this Roaring Kitty, and then it really went really big on Reddit, as there's a subreddit on there called Wall Street Bets, and that's where it blew up. The reason why is that these hedge funds are taking on massive short positions and basically banking on the failure of these companies. When you short a stock, for anybody that's listening that doesn't know, is basically, to simplify it, if you decide you want to short a stock, it's because you think the stock is going to go down. So they're gonna decrease. So basically, to simplify the process, you don't own the stock, but if you have an account at Charles Schwab or Robinhood or wherever you may trade, Ameritrade, whatever, you're borrowing the stock from somebody else that owns it. And say at that time it's worth $10 a share, but you think that within maybe 6 months, it's only going to be worth $5 a share. So what you do is you're borrowing it from somebody that owns it and you're selling it for $10 a share. Now you owe it to that person. So what you're banking on is that you're right, you're correct. The stock's going to go down and you're going to be able to buy it back at a lower price. Say maybe it goes down to 5 or 7. You buy it at the lower price and then you give it back and you pocket the difference. So it's basically the reverse of what everybody else would be doing with a stock. Most people don't short stocks. Most brokerages won't even allow you to short stocks unless you have been trading a certain amount of time. You have to go through an application process. You have to illustrate to them that you are a seasoned trader, that you have a certain net worth sometimes, and that you are capable of making the financial decision to short this stock. Because when you buy a stock, if you take $5,000 and you buy X amount of shares of stock, your biggest possible loss is that $5,000. However, with a short, you don't have a maximum loss, because you could be dead wrong and that stock goes from $10 when you borrowed it to $100. Now all of a sudden, that guy you borrowed it off of is selling, and you have to buy that stock at $100 a share. You just lost $90 a share. So there is no upside limit or downside limit to your loss. You could lose infinite amounts of money theoretically. So most brokerages won't even let you dabble in that. So the majority of the people that are shorting stocks are these major hedge funds, these investment banks. Now, I'm going to tell you, a lot of the media, a lot of the talking heads in DC that are like out there talking about this today, about how we have to stop this, we have to halt trading, we have to protect people. They're making it out to be like this is affecting people's 401ks.
It's not.
It is not. Your 401k is not shorting any stocks. Your 401k is made up of mutual funds, made up of blue chip stocks, secure stocks. They're not shorting anything, because those investment companies that are handling those can't take on the risk of shorting stocks in a 401k. They cannot do that. That is not affecting anybody.
Do you know what these big hedge funds have that we don't have?
Political power.
Lobbyists.
Exactly.
That are on
and
big six-figure deals to go
Didn't
to
we
DC.
just talk about some corruption in trading in Washington? So the funny thing is, this has all started back up again. It died off at 21. There were people that literally college kids that took their life savings and maybe had $20,000 in a savings account and turned it into $10 million.
Netflix.
Overnight.
Crazy amounts of money.
Netflix did a documentary about Roaring Kitty.
Right.
And some of these people that held are just broke. And then some of them were sitting there watching, and they were like, I could cash out at $3.5 million.
Yeah.
And
they did. And they changed their lives.
Yeah.
But some people, they had tens of millions of dollars and literally have nothing now.
Oh, yeah. There's a lot of those.
Yeah. But Roaring Kitty put a tweet out the other day. Was it Sunday?
This was
Monday?
morning.
So Monday.
Yeah,
he
Monday
roared
morning.
his little head again.
He did. A little cryptic message and got everybody's attention. And GameStop and AMC shot through the roof. We're filming this obviously early. I think it's safe to say everybody knows that we don't film these live. So we're filming this Tuesday.
Maybe we should lose a bunch of money live.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny because the Roaring Kitty and the last time GameStop went through the roof, he held like throughout.
Yeah.
Like even when it went down, and then he ended up cashing out a ridiculous amount.
He made a ton of money.
But he put his whole life
Yeah.
into that one stock.
Yeah.
So
they halted trading on these two stocks
today
34 times today. So the
Which
government
is fucking ridiculous.
Absolutely fucking ridiculous that in the United States of America, where we have a quote unquote free market society,
that they can
that the government came in and decided that they needed to step in and stop people from buying and selling publicly traded stock.
Basically, they're saying the little guy cannot make too much money.
Right. We need to protect these hedge funds. We have to stop this.
What's their benefit to stop it? What do they gain from stopping it? Scare tactic?
I don't know.
I mean, in theory, you could wreck a large financial institution. You could make them solvent overnight, which could be bad.
These guys, these kids that are doing these trading.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Basically have. I mean, that's how Robin Hood started. If you're not familiar with Robin Hood, Joe, do you want to tell us the fairy tale of Robin Hood?
Yeah, Tinkerbell. But That's Peter Pan, right?
But Robinhood was started to give little guys access to the markets. You used to have to pay a lot of money to trade stocks. That's gone away. Now you can do it on your phone. Before you had to call a guy who would call a guy and he'd get back to you and charge you $10.95 per trade.
Yep.
Now you just click a few buttons on your phone and you own Microsoft.
For free.
Yeah. Right. Or GameStop. But what they have kids doing, 18-year-olds, not that there's anything against 18-year-olds, but they can now take
huge financial risks
and, you know, go tell their parents, hey, I lost $750,000 today. I've read some stories about that, but it's a unique situation.
It is.
Robinhood got caught up in that first wave of all this too, because the feds didn't like them much for what they were able to do, and they were like, all right, well, you need to have the money in the bank to back this stock at this price right now.
Yeah, they were completely shut down a few times because they ran out of money.
Right.
They could not cover. People were just ringing the register back in, like you said, 2020, 2021. Everyone's sitting at home just tweeting, hey, go buy this stock. No financial backing to it. It was just, let's go buy GameStop today. And Robinhood's like, we don't have that much money to pay.
Like, congratulations to you and all your success. But we ain't got it.
Yeah, I don't know. I have a hard time believing that this is to protect anybody. I mean, are they really, do these politicians really think that we believe that they're sitting there going, we have to protect these 18-year-old kids from losing their life savings whenever they're complicit with bearing the student loan debt that they'll have their Social Security garnished with and everything else that they do to, I mean, they're not protecting anybody. They're not protecting anything but their own best interest.
The establishment.
Yeah. They're protecting the establishment. They're protecting the system that put them in the position that they're in, because I can guarantee you that if you trace back, these hedge funds are contributing to their campaigns.
Oh yeah.
And there's lobbyists that are pushing these politicians that we need to stop this because these hedge fund guys are going to lose everything. And these guys that are used to driving $500,000 cars in $5,000 suits, working in New York City, are getting bested by college kids in their parents' basement.
And a dude in a kitty cat t-shirt.
Exactly, wearing slippers. And they're working
That's
together.
That's America, right?
It is.
Shouldn't you be able to do that?
Yeah. But they don't want you to.
Apparently not.
They think that they know better than everyone else. And inflation is at an all-time high.
Yep.
Rates aren't coming down. And I wrote a list of businesses here that you might have heard of. Microsoft, Walmart, Tesla, Indeed. They're all laying off workers.
Yep.
The cost of living is going up. The cost of payroll is going up.
Yep.
And
I read Red Lobster's shutting down 50 locations.
You can get the biscuits at Sam's Club nowadays, make them at home.
Yeah, that's probably their new model. Like, hey, we're making more money selling this shit at Costco.
Right. But
I think the whole buffet thing is going out. I mean, you can't have endless shrimp anymore.
Yeah.
You know,
Golden Corrals
prices are
come and go, but I see a trend that like everybody's screaming for better wages. The problem is if wages are better, there's less jobs. I mean, it's just as simple. If you have a company and you're budgeting, $20,000 for payroll.
Yeah, you don't get more jobs for that budget.
Yeah, if
wages go up.
That's it. And
just have less people.
Yeah. So people are going to be overworked.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, underpaid then. They're going to be like, well, I'm doing twice the amount of work and I'm only making 1% more money. It's a bad time to like kind of be trying to figure it out. But I just think that the government just keeps finding ways to just push the little man down.
Yeah.
And conveniently enough, we talked about it. This year's an election year. So if you push and you push and you push in the early months this year and you give some wins right around the time it is to go vote, people will vote for that person.
Yeah. You know what though? I mean, I was doing some reading today about this stuff going on with GameStop and these meme stocks. And it's not even, this is pretty bipartisan. I mean, Trump's former SEC chair was talking about that these stocks need halted and we need to stop this and this is not good for the system and all this and that. I mean, it's not Democrat versus Republican. They are unilaterally against the little person.
For sure.
And the little man, the average Joe, and
Joe the plumber.
Yeah, Joe the plumber. Any party that sits there and says we're for the average guy, they're not. These political parties are not. They don't give a shit about you. They just want whatever's going to put more money in their pocket or more power.
Yeah, if they cared about us, they wouldn't be going to sit in Congress with $5,000 suits and getting
right.
Having
Having closed door meetings.
But they care about me, Joe. They say all the things that I would vote for.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a popularity contest in high school. It's just they want to be.
It
liked.
is, but it's not even like. It's people are so shallow now with this. Is that everything is so divided that it doesn't even get the popularity of the person. People don't even get to know who they're voting for. As long as it's a D or an R, it's all that matters.
Right.
That's probably true at this point.
Yeah, very uneducated election process.
Nobody pays any attention to it anymore. Like, we don't know who we're putting in there, and it's just, and we said it before in the previous episodes. There's shitbags in both parties, and we're flooded with them right now.
Yeah, it's a hard time to try to raise kids, try to explain to them what the hell's going on. Because at 40, you'd like to think your parents had it figured out. At least they knew where they were going in life and what to expect. And there's been ups and downs in every economy, but at least like humanity stood strong before. It's like,
I think about that sometimes, Joe, and I think we may even talked about this on air before, but do you ever think about, like, we talk about all the time, like how fucked up things are right now, and think, man, things are just like the worst they've ever been. But were they? Because like every generation and it seems like every decade there's some sort of crisis that seems like it's the worst thing that's ever happened. Like, you know what I mean? Don't forget. We had a decade where we had a president that got shot during a parade.
Is that a terrible thing, though?
Just kidding.
No, I'm just fucking around. No, it's terrible.
We had a decade where we had, we had Nixon that went through.
We went through 9/11, right? And that was
9/11. We went through.
Well, people
Nixon,
point out
the Cold War. Every year, every decade, so many years, we're dealing with some sort of crisis that seems like it's the end.
People will point out though, like our generation, like we went through Columbine, then we went through 9/11, we went through the first financial when we were getting out of high school, the second financial crisis when we were getting out of college.
Yeah.
And then we were now raising kids during COVID. Not to toot our own horn, but like you always hear like, oh, these people were so badass. And it's like, we might look back at ourselves at 70 and be like, man, we made it. We made it out of this fucking alive. But yeah, I know that like it's never as bad as it seems. They like that's part of like life. People want to make things sound like people are like, I'm so fucking busy. And I'm like, are you really? Like you're like on your phone. Just let me see your screen time. How busy are you?
Get those numbers.
Like the definition of busy and pain is different person to person. Like people that have the ability to go to work and they're like, oh, I'm swamped at work. But whenever it's 3:30, they're in their car and on their way home, are you that busy?
Are you? Yeah.
So like, I feel right now in life I'm pretty busy, but I am also guilty of like taking on things that I shouldn't be worried about. Like I'll do things and do other things that have no impact on me being less busy, but I'll just add shit to my plate.
Too many irons in the fire. I'm guilty of it too, but I've said it before. I wouldn't have it any other way.
Right. Well, because it beats the alternative. I know me personally, like if I had free time to go golfing 3 or 4 days a week, that would bury me. It would ruin a relationship and make me a shitty dad. And I don't want that kind of free time. But it would be nice to get a deadline hit. Seems like some of the projects I got going on, I have so many things out of my control that I can't even set a deadline yet. So I have some leisurely. I can set it whenever they tell me when I can set it, I guess.
Yeah.
So.
Now you brought up, what was it, Microsoft, Tesla.
Indeed,
what was the other one?
Indeed, and Walmart.
Walmart.
Walmart's laying off corporate jobs.
So now we've used COVID as kind of like a benchmark, but Microsoft around COVID times was $140 a share, closed today at $416. So that's what, 2 or 3x.
Yeah.
Tesla was roughly $30. It's now $177, so that's 5x.
And now are you looking at post-COVID numbers? Like coming out of COVID?
The closed is today, so the closing number. This was the beginning of COVID, so middle of March 2020.
Okay, so
GameStop,
before the crash.
Yeah, GameStop was $1.03.
What did it close out today?
$48. That's what?
40 times.
Yeah.
And that's nothing.
And if GameStop,
Right.
if GameStop was to liquidate
So you could have
tomorrow,
won 40.
they couldn't cover their own stock.
Right.
So one of the things I do remember about the GameStop situation was during COVID when they were closing down retail, if you offered computer parts, you were considered essential. So GameStop started selling mouses. It's probably just, that's why their stock went up 400%.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
yeah,
smart move. Yeah,
that's why.
I don't know. The stock market is like, it can be muddy, I guess, to say the least.
Yeah, it's hard, man. I overanalyze stuff, and I look at these stocks, and then I get frustrated because somebody will just talk about something on TV or on social media, and then a stock will plummet, and I'm like, but what?
Yeah.
What are we doing? You know, I don't know.
It's gambling.
It is.
So, I mean,
I do like the long game, though. I have accounts for my son out there that he could use for anything. So they said there's 2 accounts that you can use for kids. A 529, which goes strictly to college expenses. And then something called a UTMA, which is basically a transfer to minors account. He just turned 4, and I've put $100 every paycheck since he was born. And that's $5,700. So gained $900 on it.
yeah, it's nice.
We'll see what he's at 18, but there's ways to make money out there.
There is.
Yeah, it's, you know, you think like, oh, this guy's crazy because he puts 50,000 into the stock market.
Yeah.
But like, I'm 50 grand into like relocating my business. It's
Yeah.
like, so
How's that going, Joe?
it's going, but it's just when you have, I feel like you have more control over your business. So it's not like you're throwing the money out.
So
Yeah.
what's the day? Tell us what you're up to. Is it literally packing trucks all day? We're doing blueprints. What are we talking about?
We're talking with architects now. Hopefully they're doing blueprints because we need to have those to get through the county process of the mechanical zoning
So you have
permit.
a retail location up in the North Hills. We've
I
talked about you moving to Cheswick.
Yeah, correct. So I have a retail store on McKnight Road,
Mhm.
and unfortunately, during COVID, we've moved a lot to home delivery. So
Yeah.
we're probably about 70% home delivery right now. So when you're paying all that rent for 30% of your business, it just doesn't make sense. So we've talked over the years, and it's just important. Any business, it's important to own your property at some point. In my business, like, you don't have anything to sell if you're renting.
Yeah.
You know, all you're doing is you're champion for the landlord to find a new tenant.
Right.
You're not going to make any money. Like, your landlord's like, hey, thanks for 30 years, and you found us a new tenant. Here's your security deposit back. You know, so we're making a move. There's days where I feel like 100% I made the right decision.
Yeah.
And then there's days where like, you're like, what the fuck did I just do? You know? And I think if you didn't feel that way, it wouldn't be right.
No.
You know, if it was like, you know, everything's, but if you fail when you own your own business, you still sell your building and or put another business
an
in
asset
it.
there, right?
Yeah. So, and it builds equity. You know, it's kind of the long game, like you said.
Yeah.
Every month you send that mortgage payment, you know, you got another $38 in equity.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
$38.
so that is like,
You have closed on the building. You're in the process
correct.
of moving in, remodeling, I assume.
yeah, the remodeling process is simple. It was a wide open space and the building was good to go. Now we're working on, like, our business, we need a lot of industry fixtures. So we need steam, gas, electric, you know, so we're putting 3-phase power into the building, which West Penn has been great. They got something done in 3 days that I thought would take 2 months. Thank God it wasn't Duke and Light.
Yeah, Duke and Light you'd still be trying to get a hold of somebody.
Yeah, West Penn Power was pretty much like, can you fill out this load sheet?
Yeah.
Which what I thought was unique. I need to bring a secondary power into the building. So I thought it was unique that they were like, fill out this load sheet of what power I'm using now, and they extrapolated over 5 years. And like, whatever you're going to pay to them in 5 years, they take that off the cost of the project. So if you have a camp and you want to get power and you're like, we're going to run a refrigerator, microwave, and it's $80,000. They're like, well, you're going to use $6,000 in 5 years. Give us $74,000.
Oh.
But if you're doing like a commercial space where we're going to use a lot of power. So it's at
that number.
Yeah. So it's at no cost to me, which was kind of cool. Yeah. I mean, I obviously pay for the electrician to do my service pole, but they'll bring the power to the building at no cost. So
I guess if for business owners out there looking to buy a building, that's significant, right?
And the other thing that I found out through the process is if you're looking at buildings, usually a lot of businesses need 3-phase power, like any kind of manufacturing. Not a lot of businesses need it, but if you do need it, you're allowed to have single-phase service and 3-phase service in the same building. They will tell you no.
What's that mean for the dumb myself?
So you're like single phase, you have like one live wire and one neutral.
Like a toaster.
You have 125 volts coming into your house.
All right.
3-phase power, I have 3 live wires at 125.
Oh.
So it's a lot more power.
Yeah.
It's good for motors like fan motors and dryer motors. It instead of it going from like 0 to like all the way, it phases and it saves you energy in the long run.
All right.
So
all right.
Big wires, big bills, but they cover the cost to drop the power in, which was a break, like you need any break you can along the way.
So you just tell them what you want and it's free.
No, they'll come out and do a scope and tell you if you can or can't. But like I said, they told me you can't have 2 separate lines, 2 separate services going into a building, but that's wrong because if they're alternate current, voltage, or phases, you can have 2 different lines coming in. So like your house has 1 meter, this building will have 2 meters.
Okay.
So
2 bills.
I would assume, I would assume it's going to be 2 bills.
All right.
So I pay so many electric bills now. It's like,
So when can I get a shirt out of the new building?
I'm hoping 4th of July.
4th of July. You're putting a date on there.
Traditionally, I give my people off the week of 4th of July.
Yeah.
So that's going to be my week to like get it up and finalized.
All right. So we'll be shooting fireworks off the roof.
Hopefully someone burns it down. Blazing Saddles, they had that whole fake town.
Yeah.
I'll just have this fake dry clean building that burns down, and the Acmatonia Club shoots fireworks into my building. It's a process. I mean, I enjoy it. I really do enjoy it. And I've learned a lot. It's an education.
Yeah, it's definitely.
They don't teach you this in college.
No, they don't.
And you have to be patient.
For people, what else have you learned?
Well, if you have an occupancy permit approved by the township, that'll get you through the bank process.
Okay.
But if you're a nail salon going into an auto mechanics shop,
well, that's odd, but yeah.
If you're going to use that space and change the use of that space, you better be ready because you're going to have all the mechanical.
So we're talking like retail to commercial.
Yeah, like even if you were like, okay, I'm a dentist.
Yeah.
And you had a dentist office and you buy it and you want to put a card shop in there. Something simple, just use the retail space.
A vape shop.
Yeah. Correct. You have to file with mechanical permits for the
you have to do a change of use. You have to make sure that and then also the township can come in and say that it's not an accepted use, which I guess would come up during the occupancy. Probably, but.
And the other thing that I learned was, I was like, well, they tell you under 15 employees in Allegheny County, your code regulations for bathrooms are different than if you have over 15. So I'm like, well, I have 4.
Can you just say you have 2?
They do it based off square footage.
Really?
Wait,
yeah. So if you have a 1 million square foot warehouse building,
how many
square feet
do I take up?
Well, if 2 people work there, they don't care. They base it off the office space inside the facility. So if you have enough to have 30 employees or 40 employees, they base it off that number, which was a kind of shock. I mean, I'm in a good spot because my place was set up in 2018, male, female bathrooms, which is suffice for over 15, I guess. But I'm sure with restaurants, all this changes. There's a lot of people that make a lot of money doing this every day.
Yep.
And it's not, anytime you're cutting into a sanitary sewer, you have to have a registered plumber involved. Allegheny County is very strict. We've said it before on here. If someone dies, they make a code. If someone dies, they make a code. That's why the code book's like this thick, because people just keep doing stupid shit.
Yeah. And every township, every municipality, every county, they're all different. Their codes are different. Their ordinances are different. their
We heard
requirements
that
are
on
different.
Mitch's episode.
our billboard episode.
Yeah.
And I get it. I mean,
Jerry, you help with this stuff?
I do.
Landmark help with this?
I do a little bit.
Yeah.
I probably most accounting firms don't, but I have some experience in municipal law.
Nice.
So I have some contacts that still work in that field. So I know more than probably a traditional accounting firm would know about the about the industry, about that world. Plus, I'm involved in real estate, so I kind of live it too. So.
in defense to these townships, like I was talking to someone and they said they have a contractor that's putting a porch on their house, and the contractor was required to have workman's comp insurance.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And it's kind of like a silly thing, but when you think about it on a more like in-depth level, they're protecting the homeowner from Jimmy the fly-by-night guy that's just going to come in, take your $50,000 deposit, do a shit job, and leave you high and dry.
Yeah.
Because they're sick of seeing it in courts, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you're on the up and up and you're trying to do the right thing, these guys, they'll work with you.
Yeah. Yeah.
We'll see, though.
And that's good for the contractors that are legitimate. Because they're paying workers' comp insurance. And some of them are paying, I mean, I've seen tree guys that are paying 30, 40 cents on the dollar for workers' comp insurance. And it's not fair when they're doing it right and their guys are employees and they're paying workers' comp and they're doing it all right. And then you've got, Fred the tree guy with a pickup truck and a chainsaw that is just, he's using subcontractors that aren't getting 1099s. Nobody's got insurance. And then that tree falls on somebody's house. He undercut the guy that has all the expenses. Mm-hmm.
Mm.
His price was half, so he
who doesn't want to save a buck?
Yeah, so that homeowner's like, man, your price is half. I'm going to have you do it. Well, then the house, that tree falls on the house. That homeowner's screwed.
Yeah, we're dealing with that a little bit in our industry now. There's like Poplin, and there's a couple of different companies that have come into the Facebook sector of like, well, why are you doing laundry? We'll do your laundry. Well, they're just coming in a car like Uber, picking up your clothes. They're going to a laundromat, cleaning your clothes.
Oh, really?
And then bringing them back to your house. They don't have a physical location.
Mm.
So, I mean, I get that that's fine. I mean, they probably do. Some of them probably do a really good job. But like the other people are just like, I just kind of think that you need to be able to trust someone with your belongings.
Yeah.
So if they just don't come back with, could you imagine you lose 3 laundry baskets full of your clothes? Yeah. What it costs nowadays to replace them?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it is.
Or what happens if that person is, washes that red sock with your whites?
Yeah. Or the classic just tumbles it in the dryer and folds it. Doesn't even clean it. Like there's an obligation as a professional in your field. That's why they figured out a way to level the playing field when it comes to like services and trades and all this stuff. But as long as you don't dabble in their high expensive water, you know, they'll just shut it down. I guess just pause the stock market for a second and let everybody readjust. Yeah. But like, I don't know. You hate to bash somebody so often, but it's glaringly fucked. It's like you hate to just be like a prick. Like I guess
technical term.
At 40, we're just turning into these old pricks that are like, DC sucks and these kids these days, But
no, I'm rooting for the kids on this one.
Yeah.
I want them to win, man.
Root for the little guy.
I bought some stocks, so I'm getting on a rank.
Reach out to us if you have any other tips.
Yeah. Portnoy jumped on the bandwagon. Did you see that?
I do, but he is my man is not a good Davey Day Trader.
Yeah,
is famous for losing money in the stock market.
He even said it.
He is great on pizza reviews, but he is
his pizza taste is pretty legit.
He's lost a lot of bitcoins.
But do you think that's part of the shtick though?
And now a brief word from our sponsor.
This episode of Between Two Bridges is sponsored by Paymark Payroll. Are you tired of spending countless hours juggling payroll calculations, tax filings, and compliance regulations? Well, say goodbye to that chore and let Paymark Payroll take the burden off your shoulders. With our secure online portal, you can access your business information from any internet location, even your phone. Employees will love the ability to receive direct deposits, and they can access all their pay stubs, tax forms, and information through their own portal. Focus on growing your business while we take care of the rest. With top-notch customer support, we're always here to assist you with anything, at any time. Don't let payroll stress hold you back. Choose Paymark Payroll and experience the freedom to thrive. Contact us at payyourpeople.com for a personalized consultation and a demonstration of our powerful payroll solutions, and see how Paymark Payroll can better your workflow. That's payyourpeople.com. Join the growing list of satisfied businesses that have embraced the convenience and efficiency of Paymark. Payday made easy. Your business deserves nothing less than the best, and that's exactly what Paymark Payroll delivers. Now back to the show.
Because
You think it's a game?
Well, people want to he wants to be liked by like the guys that are into sports, and like he dabbles in that.
He has
world.
done very well for himself.
Right.
Yeah.
So nobody wants to think
With
that
Barstool.
he's already rich on Barstool. He wants his viewers to appreciate him as the jean wearing, pizza eating guy, and not the fucking I just killed it to the moon on Dogecoin and I made another four
I don't
million.
know.
You know?
He's got quite the life, man.
Yeah. And good for him, because that wasn't like an overnight success. He did like
he started
newspapers
out on a
and
Barstool, right?
writing newspapers.
And they had a newspaper, then website,
Yeah.
social media, gambling.
Yeah, that gambling thing came and went though, didn't it?
Yeah, he sold the pen.
He got involved with Penn and then sold Penn's, like, I forget the actual deal, but Penn backed his company or something.
Yeah, he made $375
He did
million
make a
and then
lot.
bought it back for like $1.
Well, that was
Was that him?
Yeah, that was him.
Yeah.
It was like 500 million.
Yeah.
But was that Penn?
Penn backed so he rolled out Barstool Gambling,
Mhm.
which was its own app, but it was backed by Penn Gaming.
Okay.
And then ESPN bought it.
Someone bought them out, and then he went and bought Barstool back
Okay.
for $1.
For $1. That's right. I remember. Okay.
But he does eat a lot of pizza. He does have Permani's review as well. If you want to check that out.
I did check that out one time.
It's funny though, because like he's no different than us. You know?
Yeah.
Nah.
He just was
I
persistent.
saw him take some bad beats in sports, and it's glad I
You
didn't
can
play
relate.
some- He also, I've seen some people lose a lot of money.
I mean, he's the definition.
he won
of
$1 million on Michigan, though.
persistency pays off, man. You know,
He is persistent.
and it's easy to win $1 million bet whenever you have it to gamble.
Yeah.
So you told me you won $1 million on Michigan, I'd be impressed. But
I don't have $1 million, but yeah, I'd be impressed too.
yeah, because those FanDuel accounts, they're not like letting you. It's kind of like the short position. You better have the bank to do
Yeah,
it. You know.
Yeah.
They want to see that money.
I'm curious to see how that online gambling all pans out, because you can literally go online and take your debit card, and if you have
it's
$500,
exploded,
yeah, if you have $500, like the bankruptcies,
interest.
So let me tell you something about that.
people got to be losing their hat.
They're losing their hat, and I don't know. These gambling apps, man. I'm all for the sports betting and stuff, but I don't know about these slot machines, dude. I mean,
Yeah, you can
having
get
these
live
slot
dealers
machines
and-
literally at everybody's fingertips, no matter what. I mean, it used to be that you at least had to go down to a casino or the bar with a poker machine to be able to indulge in your bad
at
habits.
least people had to look at you
it's-
like you were a degenerate.
Yeah, I mean, at least we had to like take
Put
that
in
perp
some
walk.
effort.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like now, you can be like
Seen some losses
on the toilet or at the waiting room in the doctor's office.
I had to delete the app
Yeah.
because of that situation. So I have a guy that works for me, and he was like, "Hey, download MGM," because they're paying out. What
Get
they'll do is they'll
$100,
they'll pay out. The casino's hitting
Yeah.
until you hit a number, and then it's like, all right, we're taking everything
So
back.
I did that. I must have hit that wave unknowingly.
Well, it's when you sign up.
So I signed up a while ago, and I was playing. They have a blackjack game on there. It was a Steelers blackjack game.
Perfect.
So I started playing it, and I could totally see how you get sucked in. I did very well, and I made,
change.
no,
I've
I
broken
made-
the system.
I made more money playing than I don't. I for a while, I'm like, I don't know when this is going to stop. Like, this is going to stop. There's no way they're going to let me keep winning this.
Right.
So, like, I started kind of fucking with it. Like, well, all right, well, at this point I'm playing with their money. So yeah, I'll bet that. So and it got to the point where I'm like, I can't believe I have this much money in here. And I thought, I need to stop. Like, I need to be done. I took my money, pulled it out, took the account down to like $200 or something like that. And I didn't play for weeks. I was like, I'm fucking done. I took my money and I'm like, suckers, I got you, motherfucker. So a few weeks later, I'm like,
you know what?
Let's see if it's still hot. Dude, I lost that $200 in about 5 minutes. Haven't played that game since. I'm like, I'm out. Graver train's over. They're on to me. They're like, that motherfucker pulled all that money out right in the middle of it. We were just about to get it all back.
And that's the thing is like with the stock market, at least there's variables and there's the government and there's all of this. With that could be programmed for them to make exactly what they need to make.
Of course it is. There's no way it's not.
Yeah, they're not going to pay. Like, there's big casinos for a reason.
They're beautiful for a reason.
Yeah. So, even the slot machines in Vegas are, I mean, I'm not saying you can't win.
But yeah, I don't know, man.
It's few and far between.
What do they pay out? 30%?
No.
You don't think at least 30?
A slot machine?
Over the course of the casino?
I don't think
Their
it's
take
that high.
70?
I don't think it's that high.
I think it's like 10, bud.
I don't know. Maybe dollar for dollar. Nah, I don't know.
I'm thinking over the...
Yeah, look it up.
Yeah, because I'm thinking over the course of a year, if they're not paying out at least 30, then what the hell are people doing?
What the hell are people doing?
Yeah. And that was always like, and this goes back to getting older. I remember when the casino was opening here, and there were certain politicians who were like, this is terrible for the community. Yeah. This is absolutely terrible. And I'm like, how could it be terrible? It's the casino. It's awesome. And the terrible thing is when you go down there, like if you go to a concert or something and you walk through there Thursday at midnight, you see people that have been there all day. And if you go on the first of the month, there's people that are dumping all their money into that. Yeah. And I think that if you're gambling money at the casino, you should not be eligible for welfare. Simple as that. If you're taking your money and spending it there, then you don't need it.
Yeah. Taking taxpayer money for it. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not anti-casino. I'm not anti-gambling. I just had this conversation with somebody. Like, we'll go down there.
Right.
And I go down there and I treat it like it's a night out. If you're going to a show or going to a movie or something like that, you're going to spend a couple $100. Right. So I go down there with that kind of mindset. Like, I'm going to spend a couple $100. I go down there like it's entertainment.
Right.
And, but I play blackjack because in my head, that's better.
It's fair.
Well, I think there's more of a social aspect to it. Like, I get to sit at a table with some other people. We're all playing against the dealer. So we're all socializing. We're all celebrating together. We're kind of playing together. I'm thinking there's logic and math to it. The people that have been there all day that are just feeding 20s and $100 bills into a slot machine and just pressing max bet. Dude, there's something, I don't know if that's kind of fucked up to me.
Yeah, it's a rabbit hole. And the worst is someone that'll say, well, I lost tonight at the casino, so I have to go back and win it back.
Try to get it back tomorrow.
And that's one thing I've always I'm glad that I work really hard for my money.
Yeah.
But, I've been very fortunate. I've won some money on scratch win tickets. Like, I used to have this theory where like the first 10 numbers in the book were like winners. And I did well on it. But the thing is now is Sheets has my pouches on sale so well that I don't ever have to go to Sheets. I just buy a bunch at one time. It saves me a ton of money. So
they still on sale?
Yeah, still on sale. We have an avid listener out there. We'll just call them Zins for the sake of the argument.
Mm-hmm.
Zins. Zin pouches is where it's at.
Yeah, as soon as they become a sponsor.
That's my one free sponsorship.
Can we get a sponsorship from Zin? I'll switch.
Well, it's a large company.
I know.
I think they sell Philly Blunts also.
Yeah, they're pretty big.
I think they can afford a small
sponsorship. Couple tins and...
They could set us apart, man. They could set us up.
Yeah, mail us some koozies and some tins.
They could set us up. It wouldn't even scratch their budget.
I
our listeners like,
I know, we're trying to get like Jimmy the Landscaper and Rivers Casino. I actually like. I'd like to be sponsored by like the pierogi race.
Yeah.
So we did talk about Paul Skeens. We did have the debut of Paul Skeens.
Yeah, did you watch?
How'd he do? I didn't watch.
Well, in typical Pittsburgh fashion,
well,
it was a shitty.
Talk about his start first.
They won. Shitty weather.
He struck out 2 out of the first 3.
Right.
Ended up with 7 or 8 Ks. Pitched
4 innings. 4 and 1.
5, and then it rained. Shocking for Pittsburgh.
Yeah. Especially the
and
last
then,
few weeks.
And then the
Pirates showed up and set a record, Jerry, for consecutive walks.
Well, only to be interrupted by a hit batsman.
They walked 6 straight batters and lost the game.
No, they won the game.
They lost the game.
No, they won. Okay. They won 10-9, and there was a 2.5 hour rain delay. And they won on a McCutcheon home run. They gave up 6. They were up 6-1. They gave up 6 runs in the longest 5th inning, I think, in Major League Baseball history.
Yeah.
Because it rained and it was delayed for 2.5 hours, and I was working all day, missed all of this. And on my way home from working, I turned the radio on and they were like, "Pirates will be back with us in just a moment." And I was like, "The game started at 4. It's now 8 o'clock." Yeah. And I caught the bottom of the 9th at home on TV.
Jesus.
So
I think he has a future on the Yankees.
He will make a great Astro someday.
Make a great Astro.
But how long will he be in Pittsburgh, you think?
His first deal, he'll be gone. 5 years, max.
Do you think he'll stay 5?
I think he'll have to, like with arbitration and all that. I think that's what Cole was sentenced to, 5 years.
Yeah, it's
if not sooner, but yeah.
I don't know.
Maybe he's going to turn things around for us.
He'll turn it around and immediately leave, which we could have a whole show about.
Yeah, they're depressing.
That owner, if you want, and what he makes. Maybe we could do that, a deep dive on. Isn't he on Nemacolin or something? Too?
He owns Seven Springs.
He bought it. He sold it to Vail.
Vail made money.
He still owns
the restaurant or the hotel.
No, I'm not sure about that. He still owns the Sporting Clays and the lodge up on the top.
Yeah, he smart businessman. I mean,
he doesn't look like a shooter to me.
You'd be surprised.
Yeah, I've seen some guys look just like that.
Yeah,
shoot a shotgun.
You know, actually shooting clays is a
$20,000 shotgun.
Yeah, clays can be a very expensive sport.
Yeah.
So they don't like it when guys show up with a Mossberg 500 pump and just start blasting them out of the air. I'm like, I've never done this before. This is amazing.
That sounds fun.
I'm like, oh, we should try this.
It's a great time. I'm going Friday.
Are you? That's right. Yeah, you got your big event this weekend.
You need your own caddy for that.
Yep.
Yeah,
event this weekend, and then next week I have my conference. So.
Yeah.
Next week I think we're doing something here for the show.
Yeah, Thursday.
I think we're gonna maybe shear the beard.
Oh
boy! I don't know if we're gonna go straight razor shave.
You got to go razor, bud. We need to see that baby skin.
I'm afraid how many chins I got under here.
How many?
That's a nice thing.
How long?
Hide all that.
Have you had a beard consecutively?
That's 7 years, man. June 16th, I think, will be 7 years.
What is the significance of
I
that
shaved
date?
for the U.S. Open.
Okay.
Yeah. Whenever I was in my younger years, I felt that if you were...
For what reason? Were you caddying?
No, I was working the U.S. Open for the dry cleaners, and I kind of was like in and out of some places that it felt like
peer pressure.
Yeah, I think that they looked at me on the orientation, was like, someone might have said, "Hey, why don't you shave that off your fucking face?"
Did they?
And I was like, "Yeah, sure, no problem."
Did they?
No, not that direct. But I just felt like, you know, you cave to the surroundings around you. You know, like,
come on, Joe.
I gave.
You're above that.
It is so fun though when you shave.
You're 40 now. Act like it, damn it.
I know. But it's fun to shave it because you can go through the phases of shaving it.
Yeah.
So let's see what we walk out of here looking like next week.
Oh yeah.
It might be fun to just leave the old
handlebar mustache, just a Fu Manchu.
The old Double D. Shout out Double D. You remember Double D? Dude? He's like a carnivore. Dave Dempsey.
Oh yeah.
He has
Rolly fingers.
It's not even a
Tell him
good.
to bring some wax for your
I have
mustache.
some wax in the car because when I was getting my dental work done, the dentist was bitching about like dealing with the mustache and the.
What did he say?
He was just, well, he wasn't saying anything. Actually, shocking enough, his assistant was like, this is the first time I've ever seen this. He was like, this one hair. And he like snipped the one hair off. And I was like, I got you next time, dude. So I did. I like waxed it up and got it out of the way. I could see, you want to level, he wants to be able to work on you, So,
Yeah.
I don't know. 7 years is a long time. My daughter's never seen me shaved, and
She might cry.
she probably will. She's an emotional kid, so I'm sure it'll ruin her life. Just give him something to talk about in therapy,
Yeah. What else are we here for?
Right.
Yeah, what's that here for? So we got Mother's Day out of the way.
Yep.
Puts us on deck, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're next.
Yeah. What are you looking what do you do on Father's Day, Joe? Just kick
there's
back,
no real
relax,
traditions. No,
work.
Probably
every
work.
day. You
Yeah,
gotta
probably.
work. Jerry,
An
you
ideal
work?
Father's Day for me is probably just getting work done around the house
Yeah.
or golfing. I've had the opportunity to golf a couple times on Father's Day. That's
Solid
Nice.
day.
yeah, nice day. But I don't know.
Jerry,
It's just
what-
like your birthday, right? It just doesn't mean like once you get older, you're like, I just need.
We usually spend time with Amber's dad and my dad. There's usually a car show in Oakmont we've been going to the last couple of years. And
Oh, nice.
so we'll probably, I don't know if we'll do that again or not. But
Will you enter the show with your...
yeah, I entered last year with my Camaro. I'll probably bring the Corvette down this year.
Nice.
Put it in there. I have to wash it.
Do you?
I'll have to, yeah.
It's dirty.
It's filthy.
Putting
Bad.
some miles on it. 1,500 miles yet?
Yeah,
I'm
way
at
over the...
1,100.
Need that restrictor taken off.
1,100. At 1,500, we'll video launch. And put
Launch
it on
mode.
Put it on
It'd
the
be like
podcast.
Dogecoin to the moon. So my son turns 5 Saturday.
Hey, shout out.
Yeah, he made it through the first 5 years. So it's a big year for him now. He's going to be headed to kindergarten. So
Is he excited for kindergarten?
no, not at all. Yeah, it's a unique situation because my daughter could not be. She loves school. They get older. It's kind of
Is it
fading a
easy
little
to
bit.
wake up, Joe?
They get up on their own pretty much. I'm never really home in the mornings. By the time I leave for work, they're gone. But on the weekends, they're both. Yeah, they usually get up about 7:20.
Yeah,
Get
my
up,
kids
get
get up
moving.
early too.
Yeah. They're young yet. It's a weird dynamic because then like they'll turn into teenagers and then teenagers sleep
Yeah.
all day.
Yeah.
And then you go through your 20s sleeping a lot. And then you turn 30 and you're like, shit, I thought I was busy before and now I'm really busy. So
I got kicked out of my son's room for the first time.
good for you.
No
Congratulations.
No dads allowed.
Oh, yeah?
Got that line.
Nice. My son always tells us we're so mean.
Yeah, I get that too. Why are you so mean to me? I'm not mean, dude.
It's called discipline.
Yeah.
Right.
I caught myself today. I was like, you guys need to close the front door. So they came. The thing my daughter's learning in school is currencies. She's able to go into like we have like loose change, and she'll count up the money. And like if she wants something on this game, she'll be like, "Dad, it's $4 or $3.99, and I have $3.99 in a bag, and I want to buy it." And I'm like, today I said, you know what? You've left the front door open so many times. The $3.99 is going towards the electric bill. Give it to me.
So we watched. We've been trying to we do like movie nights and stuff. This as
Projector
often as we
movies,
can.
right?
Well, we haven't been doing that because every night we have time. It's fucking random. But we watch it in the house and whatever. But we've been trying to see what movies from our past that we appreciated that are appropriate enough. You know what I mean? So we tried Billy Madison. We got to the nudie magazines.
Nudie
and we were
magazine
like,
day.
yeah, this is not going to work out. So then we discovered that IMDb, the app, it has a parental guide section, and it tells you like there's different categories like nudity and sexual violence, adult content, stuff like that, and it tells you like every scene. So I'm like, so you can read about it,
yeah.
you know what I mean, and be like, okay, we're good, right? So we watched Happy Gilmore. That one was much better because it bleeps everything out. Like when he's swearing, it's beep, beep, beep. That was a few weeks ago. So the kids are all like, they're into it. They like it. They like Adam Sandler. So
Rest in peace, Bob Barker.
Bob Barker.
Price is wrong.
Bitch. Yeah. So we watched Grown Ups. So my wife was like, what Grown Ups? And I'm like, I think that's okay.
Yeah.
So we looked it up. And
Spade's character's kind of.
who?
Spade.
Spade's character, yeah. And there's a lot of sexual talk. A lot of innuendos that don't leave a whole lot to the imagination. But we read through the IMDb and we're like, I think we're okay. We're good. So we're watching it. And right as the scene starts happening, I start realizing what the scene is. And I'm like, and you saw it.
And your remote sucks.
Yeah. So my fucking remote's still fucked up. You saw it, right? You guys see it?
Yeah.
So do you remember the scene where the girl lost her tooth? But Selma Hayek was on the phone.
Oh.
And she's like, Mom, my tooth, Mom. She's trying to interrupt her. And Selma Hayek turns around and goes, okay, I'll put $1 under your pillow after you go to bed.
Oh, shit.
Oh.
And I was like,
Yeah.
yeah. So
They
my
pick
kids,
up on it.
so my kids now know there's no tooth fairy.
Mm.
We fucked that up.
I've been getting harassed at my home for a bunny rabbit. Kids want a bunny.
Yeah, my kid wants a cat.
So I got a life lesson out of the way. I found a salamander in my yard.
Nice.
And I was like, this is sweet. Like,
Free.
I couldn't believe it. Well, they had possession of this salamander for about 11 minutes. And then they dropped it between the cracks of the deck.
They killed it.
It's not dead. It's living its best life under my deck right now.
Oh.
And they want me to take the deck apart to get under there because we have like a face board on the front. I'm like, no. And besides that, you don't deserve a bunny. You'll lose it. Like,
It'll be under the deck.
it'll be under the deck.
Getting eaten by the salamander.
Or the multiple coyotes.
Yeah. Do you guys
So-
get a lot of coyotes up here?
Yeah,
Do you
this time of
really?
year I hear them cackling in the woods a little bit.
We had one behind our house.
Seen a lot of turkeys.
Yeah, turkeys will bring in coyotes.
I haven't seen the yotes yet.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't
there's
see them. I've had trail cameras up, never seen one. I've heard them though.
My camera up behind my house got one.
The ring.
And then how about yesterday? Monday morning, my doorbell in my house, like my front doorbell cam,
Yeah.
because I have like the cameras all around, you know?
Right.
But my front doorbell said that there was motion on my porch at like 3:30 in the morning. I'm like, what the fuck? A freaking skunk walked up onto my porch and was just wandering around my porch at 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, son of a bitch.
Yeah, my phone or like my cameras will tell me like animal detected or person detected. And
Oh, really?
yeah, I get a little raccoon action.
Yeah.
Other than that, it's been pretty calm in my house.
Hmm.
So we like calm.
Yeah.
So deer are starting to take over.
Dude, Oakmont is infested with deer.
And people still love them. People still think you're an asshole for hunting them.
Mm-hmm.
And, yeah, I saw deer driving home on 6th Street.
It was driving.
Or, no.
They're always there. And they're so
Last,
domesticated at this point. I don't
just
even,
walking by Gino's house. Just sitting there.
you don't even have to stop or slow down.
Yeah,
They
that's
won't stop.
wild.
They won't
I think
come
I
out.
heard a number. It was like $50 million in damage to vehicles last year in PA alone.
I
Really.
believe it.
The ones in Oakmont, they know.
I've hit one.
Yeah.
Not in my car.
Oops.
Nice. Was it your wife's car?
It was a friend's car. I did have to pay the deductible. I've never hit one in my car yet. Hit one with a slug gun.
I've hit them with all apparatuses. Never hit one with the vehicle yet.
Crossbows.
I hit a turkey.
Did you?
Yeah, years ago, I was working for a company. I got a brand new truck. It was awesome. I was like, man, they must love me. I got this brand new truck that I can work my ass out of. And I was headed to meet
Tax right off for them.
yeah, I was headed to meet the owner of the company, and
They like me.
I clipped this turkey with the windshield. It bent the A-frame of the truck, shattered the windshield,
Yeah,
and I like swerve and stop, and I'm walking on Freeport Road looking for this turkey because I'm like, if I don't have a turkey, I'm fucked. Like they're never gonna
Did you
believe
find
this.
it?
No,
Did you lose it?
no, I kept the job. I had like one feather, I think. I think there was like one feather of evidence. But I felt like, I
stick it in the windshield.
I had a track record with this company. They're like, yeah, okay, dude. It was Friday morning. He's like, last night you went bowling, fucking chucked your bowling ball through the windshield or something. Huh? It's a turkey. Turkey will do some damage.
Oh, yeah, they're big, man.
Yeah. Hit one of those with a slug gun before, too.
Jerry, what's new business-wise?
No, not much, man. Just working.
You got a trip coming up, right?
Yeah, I'm going down to San Antonio for a conference for the software that we use for accounting and payroll. See what new offerings they have. And they have a bunch of courses set up for...
Gonna make some changes?
Possibly, yeah. I'm not sure what we're going to do yet, but they have a lot of courses. They're just like we talk about a bunch of times, they know that the movement is to go to more of a virtual service platform where you're
zooming your audits.
Zoom, but more like remote bookkeeping, so that people, the younger generation's not as concerned about sitting down with their accountant and going over their numbers, but they still want to see their numbers.
Yeah.
So the software, I guess this company is trying to move toward setting up the accounting firms with the software to be able to do that and provide that remote service more efficiently. So
could you ever go fully remote?
I don't know, man. I don't know. I think it would be cool to do and probably save me a whole lot of money in
be here
office
on Plum
space.
Street.
But
there's a big paper trail still.
Yeah, and it's hard because not all of my software, like not all of the things that we do are through the same software. So that company doesn't do anything for taxes. So my tax software doesn't allow me to do that. And then I can't, I have a tremendous number of clients that want to sit down and do taxes. So I can't do that remotely. It's hard. Part of it is because I have a hard time with that change. I have some employees that work remote, and I think it's a direction that we can probably go in the future, but I don't know. I'll tell you after this conference. I'll see how it goes. And I think the next episode that we record that goes live after this one's going to be with a guest. So we probably won't talk about that conference too much during that, but after that episode, I'll give a synopsis on kind of where we're going to head with that. But when I moved into this space, the main goal was the plan is to eventually buy this space, and now things have changed since then, and the property's for sale, and it's been for sale for some time, and I don't think that it's the right move for me and my business anymore. So. They say it was kind of disappointing when all that kind of transpired, but everything happens for a reason, they say, and I think that might be why. And there's some things that are happening with the business that I'm thinking, well, maybe there's a possibility we need less space. We don't need necessarily the office space doesn't need to grow as much, and maybe I need to rethink some things. So I don't know. We'll see what happens and see what this conference has to bring, but that's good. I have a big event coming up this weekend, a charity event with some
big
fun
wigs.
And important people, and I'm looking forward to that.
Nice.
And
does the IRS hinder tax offices from going fully remote at some point? Do their operations kind of?
No, they're trying to. They understand that that's the move, and they're moving in that direction too. The IRS, as much as I give them shit, has done a lot.
How often do they call you? I mean, you obviously send them a lot of shit, but
very seldom.
They'll never call you. They'll always send you a letter.
They send you a letter.
Yeah, I mean,
you get letters every day.
No, very seldom. Okay. But I'll tell you, the IRS is making that move. So. When I call the IRS, there's a specific phone number for tax practitioners, so that
does it go to India?
No, but it goes to these people's homes.
Yeah,
the call centers are these people. There's no call centers anymore. The people that answer the phone are
you're calling Josie's house.
You're calling people, and I can hear their dogs in the background. The one lady I'm talking to, I could hear her smoke detector chirping in the background. I'm like, you need to change the battery in your smoke detector.
Any armed agents show up in the past year?
No armed agents in here.
Is that still a thing, or did that go away?
It was a lot of that was just media trying to get people wound up.
Yeah.
The positions that they were listing that included armed people were not IRS auditors. They were not people that they were.
Look up Joe's tax plan.
There's a lot. There'll be changes every year. There's changes. So
yeah, there are.
You'll have to gear up for those.
Yeah, there are. We take tax classes every year to try to stay up current with all that stuff, but even still, it's still hard. I mean, these tax classes that we take, a lot of times they're 2 full days, but they cover the biggest changes. But I mean, there's a lot of changes that they don't talk about in these tax classes. I mean, it would be impossible for a tax class to cover every change. So there's a lot of stuff that we have to research. TikTok basically is 100% of it. We have to research and understand and learn on the fly, and kind of is what it is.
Yeah.
What's new with you?
Let's see. Landscaping season, so doing a lot of that. I stepped down from the board from the business analyst position I was in, so freeing up time. And then I got out of management, so I am an individual contributor now. Freeing up more time, basically.
I thought about that today as I was shoveling gravel at my house. I was like, all winter, I'm like, I just wanted to be nice again. I just want to be outside. And like 1 ton in, I was like, fuck that. Just snow. Fuck his yard. Fuck these flowers.
Yeah. Did some kitchens, a lot of lighting. What else? A lot of side hustle stuff.
Good.
Yeah.
Creating content, as they say.
Yeah, it's if you're a one-man band, you gotta film and then cut it all and then update your website and do it by hand and learn and go to Lowe's and back to Lowe's. And
I'm so guilty of like not taking pictures.
Yeah.
Like I
at least try with like movie. Like I hate like. There's a couple of things I don't.
People will be like, "Hey, you got
every single person says licensed and insured." That really pisses me off. Everybody has they should have a license. We were talking about that before. Yeah. And then it's just like before and after picture with like no transition. No, it's just very lazy to me. I don't know.
Well, I people will say, "Yeah, you have a picture of the building," and I have to go back to the real estate listing to show them a picture of the building. And Collier's removed the listings. Now I'm like, fuck. I got a screenshot, I think, of it.
Yeah, go take pictures of your building, bud.
Google Maps.
Yeah. I should have taken pictures when it was. I think I have a picture of the kids riding bicycles inside.
Yeah.
But
how many square feet is this place?
3,500. So,
okay.
And then there's another building next door that's a little under 2.
We shoot guns inside?
Sure. Cheswick, do whatever the fuck you want. Wait, we just got to get a permit.
Yeah.
That's a change of use.
That would be a change of use, yeah.
Well,
I would.
Crossbow.
I can't imagine the investment to put an indoor range in.
I don't know.
Insurance on that has to be a motherfucker.
I bet.
That's probably the holdup.
Well, that's another week in the books.
Yeah.
Like we said, we have a guest coming up. So
yeah, got a guest coming. Wrap up the month with a guest.
May.
That'll be cool.
May Day.
May is in the books.
So then June we have nothing yet.
Summer, and then we got our birthdays. Jerry and Anthony week.
Same week. I'll just take that week off. You boys have fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks.
They're both 40 though, too.
We'll be driving the vet with no restrictor.
400 miles you need.
400 more miles, buddy.
All right, well, thanks, guys.
Thanks.
Thank you for listening to Between Two Bridges, a business-to-business podcast. Find and follow us on your preferred podcast streaming platform. Like and subscribe, and leave us a rating and review. You can join us socially on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. Yes, we still call it Twitter. You can email the show at info@betweentwobridgespodcast.com. Until next time, make it till you rake it.